Welcome back, coin roll hunters. Thanks for joining me, Matthew the Great Coin Roll Hunter. Today we're going to search through this roll of dimes, and I'm going to talk about an awesome story from 1946. So let's tear into it and give these enders a quick look, shall we? Got an interesting one here on the end. It looks like a 2000-something, 2006 Philadelphia. All right, let's tear into this. So I had an interesting story about the Roosevelt dime and post-World War II. So as the conspiracy goes, when the first Roosevelt dimes began hitting circulation in 1946, right after the end of World War II, it was rumored that an undercover Russian agent actually had embedded himself into the U.S. Mint and had secretly manipulated the die on the Roosevelt dimes. So I want to show you one of those, actually, right after we check for any silver. Let's see. We've got some really thick ones here that are really nice. Oh, that is nice. Not silver, but what's that one? I got a twofer by accident. 2004D and 2016D. You can see how the brilliance on these new coins makes such a difference. Let's take a look at this 2016 though. So what we're talking about is right down here at the base of Roosevelt's bust. And you see these two initials right here, J and S. And in 1946, people thought that stood for Joseph Stalin. They thought the Russian agent had snuck into the mint and carved that into the dies. Just because the war had just ended, and this was kind of a way to stick it to us, I guess. But alas, that is just a conspiracy. JS simply stands for the artist who sculpted this design, John Sinnock. And so he put his initials on there in the numismatic tradition of the mint. And yeah, so I just thought that was kind of interesting. A lot of people might not realize that there was all that post-war hysteria going on, that Russia would actually send somebody to deface our American currency because they were upset about losing the war. But I can't help but think that that might be the reason why 2 years later he actually, John Sinnock, would put his full initials on the Franklin half dollar. So if you check on the Franklin half dollar, you'll find a JRS. And I think that he did that just because he didn't want to be associated with the Nazis, which I would feel is a great move on his part, just because that'd be really confusing. But anyway, just a really fun bit of history there that I wanted to share with you guys. Now, this is the first roll dime I've done in a while. So really, I'm just looking for any silver, which will be 1964 and older. Of course, those will be Mercury dimes as well. Yeah, so also, because I'll be doing more of these dime hunts, and these shows are really about you, my viewers, and my subscribers, make sure you list in the comments below what I should be looking for in the dimes. I don't really hunt dimes very often, so I know that there's a handful of double dies. There hasn't been any design changes at all in the Roosevelt series, so not like the pennies or the nickels or the quarters, which they've started doing some really fun creative stuff. But yeah, I know that anything with like an S or a W is going to be pretty important. as far as mint marks go, as those will be out of proof sets, but and then of course silver. So haven't really found anything super old yet either, and all of these really look like they're in good shape. 1971, saw 1970 earlier. And as usual, I will be listing all of the dates for these coins in the descriptions below. If you want to keep track of circulation statistics, that's also kind of a fun thing to do, just to compare those stats of what you're finding out in the real world with what is recorded in the mintage. So that one's pretty old, 72. Just really worn. I guess that's what made me stop. Not silver though. And that's kind of fun, just because there's some coins, we talked about that with the 1950 nickel, that have really low mintages, and as a result they've been hoarded and there's just fewer of them out in circulation, so you don't expect to find those very often coin roll hunting. Oops, what was that one? There it is. Is that it? 1976? Oh, here it is. That was an 84. Sorry. But yeah, I just, I don't know. Dimes, they're so small. I don't know. And they cost 10 cents. Not that that really is that important, but the Mercury dimes are fun. I really like the design on those. It's just Roosevelt, I don't know. Let me know what I'm missing out on. I don't know. I just never really was that excited about dimes. So give me a reason to be excited about dimes. I challenge you. All right. So that is it. No silver, no Mercury dimes, but no Nazis, no Russians. So just to recoup, the JS stands for John Sinnock, the designer of the Roosevelt coin. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, pass it around, and let me know what you think. Until next time, this has been Matthew the Great Coin Roll Hunter, wishing you happy hunting.